Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program Business Point on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on to this edition of the program. Today, we're going to be looking at the FX market, and I'm looking at majorly on the CBN FX B matching system. Yes, the Central Bank of Nigeria says authorized dealers are advised to acquire the technology and resources to integrate with the Bloomberg B match system, be marching system rather, and also train relevant personnel to operate and manage the platform effectively and ensure full compliance with operational guidelines and standards. Association with the platform as well, the Central Bank of Nigeria says the main reason behind the FX B matching system is to help boost transparency, accountability, and efficiency rather of the FX market generally. Looking at all of this, if you could remember far back a little bit in the month of August and September, the CBN auctioned over $800 million of FX. So this is to help aid and boost efficiency in the system, the interbanking system. But now it has been happening, and then there have been series of concerns that have arisen by dealers, and this is to help cover those issues that has been pointed out by dealers. The Central Bank of Nigeria now decided to have an online platform, Bloomberg, and then a new system created, which is called B matching system, to help aid all of the transactions that happen in the FX market. This is to help aid transparency, accountability, and efficiency. So looking at all of those angles now, there have been series of concerns that has been raised by the Apex Bank in terms of this incident of having dollar and all of that. This has been a major challenge. So we're going to be looking at the efficiency, why this was actually created, though the CBN said it's for efficiency and accountability. So now, way before we get to this stage, there have been other systems. What happened to the systems? There's concerns that Nigerians have asked. What happened to those systems? Why do they have to create a new system to help aid this? So dealers are excited about this. Well, let's see what financial institutions have to say. And also we have a guest who will be joining virtually who would help us understand this, the efficiency and the importance of this system that has been created. And again, Bloomberg is a technological institution that's helped create this system. So now, how sure and how effective can their technology be? That's talking about Bloomberg now at this point. So we'll be having all of these conversations, and we'll be going on a quick break. When we return back, I'll be introducing my guest who would help us understand all of these major talking points. So stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is Business Point on Global Television. Now let's get to extract this major talking point, CBN FX B matching system. Like I rightly mentioned earlier, we have had other systems, but why is this coming at this time, and why is this specifically created for just the FX market that is basically dealing on Forex exchange? We'll be having this conversation shortly, but now let me introduce my guest, who is a financial analyst, Mr. John Ochai. Good morning, Mr. John.
Good morning.
Yes, many thanks for joining us on today's edition of the program.
You're welcome.
Yes, so now let's get right into it. The system that has been created, the CBN B matching FX system, why this system at this time?
First and foremost, for the sake of the viewer out there, let us just understand what BMatch is all about. BMatch is an electronic foreign exchange matching system called FMs used by authorized dealers in Nigeria to trade foreign exchange. The platform was implemented by the Central Banks of Nigeria to improve transparency, governance, and supplies of foreign exchange. And why it's important is that due to the transparent nature that the CBN have introduced to the FX market through the BMatch is quite important in this era where corruption has become the higher-handedness in the system. So because of that, it will introduce a different models from the ways we have been operating the FX over time, because the BMatch is an automated order allowing anonymous to order to place into a central limit order book, and then that automated machine will automatically order based on mutual trading limits and parameter that have been introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It will improve efficiency, it will enhance operation, and bring the integrity into the currency trading between the Nigerian market and the global market, which we are trying to operate, which we are operating on. Because the foreign exchange market is a global market that operates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, with exceptions of weekend. Is made up of a wide range of buyer and seller within the largest trading center being in London, New York, Singapore, and Hong Kong and Tokyo. So what that means is that there is no need for us to use analog methodology. We have to BMatch now, whether you are trading forex in the commercial bank, the development bank, even the rate exchange, without even interfacing with them, you'll be able to use the BMatch electronic model to transact foreign exchange with a better transparency nature.
Looking at those angles now, how does the system, integrate with other financial system, and how efficient is this going to be? And that's talking about the long-term, achievements now. Well, okay. I think you can hear me, but if you can hear me now, I was asking, looking at this now from what you just said, how efficient is it going to be for other Apex banks to be able to, achieve this, and then the longevity of this initiatives that have been created, how swift is it going to be for other banks and then individuals also to, benefit from this BMatching system?
Mr. Samuel, you agree with me that the global market is trying to migrate from the modus of operandi to a system of automated entirely. It is we in this part of the world that are still trying to make our market a cash market, not cashless market. If you go to other climes of the world like New York, London, European country, most of their transaction or exchange rate is automated, and this is why the CBN deemed it fit to put everything into automation, because the essence of bringing the BMatch is for us to be transacting electronically. There is no need for us to go to zone 4 by going with our physical cash and then collect the dollar, pound sterling, or euro from the roadside. And that is exactly why over time we have been having shortages and illiquidity that makes Nigerian banks and even the foreign exchange lack of liquidity. And if we continue to practice the old method and begin to approach things in the old way, we will continue to remain in a mirage. And that is why with these new policies now, just as I said, it will improve an efficiency, it will bring transparency into the market. And then CBN is the apex bank that regulates and monitor the affair of the exchange rate. It will allow to capture the proper data of how the foreign exchange is being transacted in the global market. So it will also, in a way, a bridge between the public and the governance and all over the world that will make us to have a platform in which all the exchange rate between the euro, pounds, and every other global currency that we are trading with to come into one platform by using automated machine to transact such kind of a business. That you don't need to go to bank before you be able to get foreign exchange. Within the confines of your zone, you'll be able to, from your system, you can transact within your system. And then the system will be able to capture all the foreign platform into one platform that will make the transparency nature be open to all.
Angle, Mr. John, this is a new model, and then, like you rightly mentioned, the global market is evolving on a daily basis, right? So Naira has been floated since June of last year, 2023. And again, now, how can this now affect the rating? And, we are talking about accountability, efficiency, and transparency now. Do you think, with Naira being floated, do you think there's going to be a means of it affecting the current rating that we are facing? Because currently, dollar is almost at 1,700 as we speak.
Before now, Naira was depreciated based on the IMF and the World Bank. And then with the coming of this government, the government of Bola Tinubu, every government wants a welfare of their citizens to be more prudent. And every government wants to ensure the dollar exchange rate between Naira is equated. And now, the system, the CBN is saddled with the responsibility to ensure that bring the exchange rates down to at least, even if it is not what it is before, at least it will be improved to be better than what it is as it is now. And then the CBN is trying as much as they can to ensure they come with a different model that will be able to bring the efficiency and improve the foreign transaction in the trading market. Because Nigeria is becoming an emerging global market, and Nigeria is one of the a country that is a populous nation amongst the Committee of Nations of the world. And if you look at our economy and their GDP rates and the growth rate we are having as at now is not quite encouraging and improving. And if we all know that Nigerian market is a mono economy that depends solely on oil, and then we are importing nation, and because of that, dollar is the one determining the Nigerian market. So Nigeria CBN is looking at the way of seeing how they will be able to improve to improve on Naira, so that the dollar will not be able to be the determinant currency that determine our economy. And that is why they are looking at a different methodology approach in which they will be able to bring forth Nigeria to contend with other currency in the world. And the only way they have looked down and see to it is to bring this foreign exchange machine system, FMs, as an authorized dealer in Nigeria to trade the foreign exchange, which means it's bringing one platform to be a governance and a supply chain within the trade system that we have in the market. And that is exactly why they are taking the system to automated system, just like we have been operating in other client, so that we will not be dealing different from what it is before. And that is the main reason why they are looking at this approach, to see if they will be able to see the transparency nature, and within their confines they will be able to monitor and govern the supply chain.
Looking at those angles now, Mr. John, we've had a series of concerns where individuals can take a huge sum of money that's in cash to a bank, and then the banks now turn around to ask the persons, what rating they want. So with this system in place now, do you think that these issues of people going, for instance, going to the bank with like $20 million, for instance, to then offer it to the bank, and then the bank will now look for incidents or ways to tell them what rating they would deserve? But with this system now, and looking at the facial and monetary policies, as well as the IMF and World Bank policies and their projection saying that it's going to take Nigeria 10 to 15 years to be able to revamp its economy, with this system in place now, how do you think it's going to help boost Nigerian economy?
Basically, I don't think Nigeria banks operate in oblivion. Nigeria banks, commercial bank or deposit money bank, is one of the most monitored, regulated organization, that they don't operate without the regulations of the CBN. So, with what you just said, that if a customer or citizen or members of the society goes to the bank with a lot of cash, and then because of that, the bank will begin to determine the rates at which they are going to sell the dollar or foreign currency to them. I don't think that is true, because every rate is given by the Central Bank of Nigeria, and any shortfall of the rate that is given by the Central Bank of Nigeria, those such bank can be queried. And in other words, the bank cannot be the determinant factors of the exchange rate. It is the Central Bank of Nigeria that are determining that of the exchange rates, and which is the exchange rates they give based on the bankers committee that determine on how the commercial bank or the financial institution operates on. In other words, the bank on their own cannot decide at what rates they will be able to trade on the foreign exchange. And that is why when you go to the bank, they always display in the dashboard how much they trade on euro, how much they trade on pound sterling, how much they trade on dollars, yen, and other currency in the international market. So with that, I may literally disagree that bank cannot decide on what rate they will be able to give, except if the customer that took their cash compromise with the bank, which is possible. And secondly, the people who determine that we can only revamp our economy within 15 years, it is human opinion. That opinion can also be countered. If Nigeria want to change their philosophy and approach on how the economy or the exchange rate will be changed and the growth rates will be improved in the economy, it's possible. In recent time, the Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso came into power through coup d'etat, and you look at the pains and the agony in which the Burkina are going through. He decided to cut ties from all over the world and pay allegiance to Russia. And what happened recently? He looked inward and be able to, go to the bond market and issue a bond through the internal market, and they were able to pay $4.9 billion as it is today, and begin to improve on their economy, and they stabilize the economy. Why must we be depending and be determined and be guided and directed by the World Bank and CBN? It is because we always pay heed to their decisions, and that is why we continue to find ourselves in this quagmire until we begin to see to things and believe in ourselves that we can do it. If Burkina Faso, a small country, can do it, why Nigeria could not look inward and take on and have a different policy direction that will be able to improve on Nigeria economy, not on what West are only giving us to consume. We must look inward and believe in ourselves and begin to look inward and begin to use the professional, not only depends on the expert rate we import that can only give us an advice that we're able to plunge us into poverty. So I have a different opinion towards that. Nigeria can do it. We can change our narrative, our perception, and look inward. We are rich and we can diversify our economy, and the economy will be able to improve and will not, more or less not depend on the foreign exchange to become a determinant currency in our own emerging market. And that is why I so much believe with this policy, I think in the long run, we will see that it will improve the foreign exchange market within the global market.
All right. Thank you so much, John Ochai, for joining us on today's edition of Business Point. Thank you for all of your input. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So, looking at it now, it's a week from today is Christmas, and a whole lot of shopping and buying has been going on. But still, Nigerians tend to complain a lot about the high cost of food items. Now, the complaint is not just on food items anymore, it's also on cooking gas. There's been a surge, and Nigerians are reacting negatively. In the coming days, we'll be bringing you a report on what has been transpiring and the trajectory of the cost of food items and cooking gas in the market, looking at the festivity around the corner. My name is Samuel Odi. This is how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Business Point. I'll see you again tomorrow as we talk more business. Bye for now.